Sports Star, ESPN, AM 1250 and 94.5 FM. Michael Jimenez. Halftime.
Yes, sir! It's halftime on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250, 94.5 FM, soon to be 103.3 FM beginning February 1st. We're on the go at sasportstar.com. My name's Michael Jimenez, also known as The Acquired Taste, according to callers yesterday anyway. I'm your host from noon to 2. Again, halftime is about sports, pop culture, and nostalgia. Today we're starting something new. Tuesdays with Teague. Carolina Teague is my co-host from noon to 1. How's it going, Carolina?
It's going good. I have no complaints. I'm happy to be here. I'm ready to get this Tuesdays with Teague started. Let's go.
Oh, dude, I'm looking forward to it. And next week, you'll actually be in studio doing Tuesdays with Teague. Again, sports, pop culture, nostalgia. We're going to do a little get to know you segment in a bit. But on the rundown today, at 12:15, Major League Baseball is about to prove once again that it's the dumbest league in all of sports. The Hall of Fame is going to be announced today, possible for a second year in a row that no one will make it. We'll be talking about that at 12:15. At 12:30, Jeff Garcia from Locked On Spurs and Ken's 5 will talk to us about the Spurs-Rockets game. And also, we're going to see if Carolina is going to jump on Team Tank at that time. At 1:30, we've got Lowe from Energy 94.1 coming on in, talking to us about entertainment news and music. But again, this is halftime from noon to 2, sports, pop culture, and nostalgia. My name's Michael Jimenez. If you want to reach out to us, the Kielbasa Bacon phone lines are open at 656-ESPN. And guess what? Best caller today wins tickets to see Bob Dylan in concert at the Majestic Theater. I'm going to say that one more time. The best caller is going to win tickets to see Bob Dylan at the Majestic Theater, and I'm the judge, okay? This is an American Idol type of thing. You call in, talk to us about sports. If I like your take the best, you're going to go see the legend Bob Dylan at the Majestic. So I'm looking forward to giving those tickets away. Carl Schoening's producing the show. How's it going, Carl?
What's up, y'all? How you doing?
Oh, dude, I'm excited because Carolina Teague is here with me. Carolina, I like to do a get to know you segment, right? And every time I have someone on that's new to the show, I ask the question, who was your celebrity crush growing up? And who are your celebrity crushes now?
That is a great question. My celebrity crush growing up, I had two of them. I was a celebrity crush prostitute. So the first one was Jonathan Taylor Thomas.
JTT.
I loved him growing up. JTT. Everyone loved JTT growing up. He was so cute, and I loved him. I didn't get to afford his posters growing up, but I did look at the magazines at the end caps, and I would just look at his pictures, and I would just admire him, and I wanted to watch all his movies. I wanted to watch Home Improvement all the time just because of him. I learned so much about Home Improvement because of watching Home Improvement. So that was one of the things. And then the second person I had a crush on growing up, actually I had three crushes. I was a crush prostitute. So Dennis Rodman and
Dennis Rodman.
Dennis Rodman. I love Dennis Rodman because he was just so different, and he was just himself, and he was unapologetically himself. And he was married to Madonna and Carmen Electra, and I just thought he was a rock star, so I loved him. And I also loved Nelly with his Band-Aid under his eye.
Nice.
So hot.
It's getting hot in here. All right. All right. You are very eclectic when it comes to your celebrity crushes, because we go from the innocent Jonathan Taylor Thomas. Now, Nelly, he can go either way. I mean, I like him. Very, very talented guy. And then you go on to Dennis Rodman. Man, I mean, that's a wide spectrum of taste. But who is the crush now? Like your celebrity crush right now. This is your hall pass. Who is it?
I have one hall pass, and my hall pass is Becky Hammond. Maybe I should be saying that on San Antonio Sports Star, but my crush is Becky Hammond. Everyone knows that. I think her aura is just incredible. I think she's so beautiful. And I also, now I've grown to have an attraction towards Prince.
Nice.
And also I am attracted to James Franco's little brother. So
oh, yeah.
The weirdest taste in men. Yeah.
James Franco's brother, who, by the way, is, if I'm not mistaken, is married to Allison Brie, who was on the show Community, who was one of my celebrity crushes, I would say about 10 years ago or so. Back in the day, my crushes were like Susanna Hoffs from the Bengals. I really liked, everybody loved Tiffany Amber Tyson, Jennifer Love Hewitt. That was mine. But these days, I'm all about, Ana de Armas. I love Halsey. Halsey is my girl. And for those of you who are into YouTubers, I will say this: Sniper Wolf. Look it up. Sniper Wolf. I watch Sniper Wolf with my daughter every night. And my wife looks at me and goes, I know why you're watching this. And I'm like, yep, it's because Sniper Wolf does it for me.
Can I ask you a quick question about celebrity crushes? I feel like every guy, like my uncles, all of them, every guy that I ever talked to, they all had a crush on Topanga from back in the day.
Big
Is
time.
that true?
Yeah, so I have a theory about Topanga, right? I think that, and by the way, Danielle Fishel, I believe is her name, still very, very, very beautiful. I think guys, the whole thing about liking thick started there with Topanga. Because Topanga was not a skinny girl, man. She was a curvy girl back then, is a curvy girl now. She's very, very beautiful. But every guy, it didn't matter the ethnicity, did not matter the race. If you grew up in the 90s or the late 80s or the early 2000s, you were all about Topanga. Topanga is very much like Nia Long when it comes to Ima Udoka's wife. I mean, every guy loves her. Every guy loves Salma Hayek. Okay. And it's interesting. There's like these universal ones where every guy, doesn't matter if you like, white girls, black girls, Hispanic girls, Asian girls, whatever. It's like Topanga. I don't know. She's just universal, and absolutely love her. But I think you can learn a lot about that. You mentioned Becky Hammon. I have a friend who has a huge crush on Kelsey Plum, and he's like all about Kelsey Plum. But welcome to Halftime on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250 and 94.5 FM. As always, on the go at sasportstar.com. Who is your celebrity crush? Reach out to us. We're on Facebook. We're on Twitter. My handle on Facebook, or on Twitter rather, is at MikeESPNSA. Carolina's at Carolina Teague _. We're also live on Facebook and YouTube. Go ahead and leave a comment or two. And again, best caller today gets tickets to see Bob Dylan. What's up, CT?
I think people need to call in and they need to tell us who their celebrity crush is, because we're giving away free tickets, number one. Number two, people are dropping in their comments who they like. They like Hillary Duff. I feel like every man liked Hillary Duff as well. So call us 210-656-ESPN and tell us who your crush is, because I want to hear if it's true. Do all men like Topanga? Because I really feel like that's an important conversation that everyone needs to have.
Now, Hillary Duff is now starring in How I Met Your Mother on Hulu. And the first 2 episodes are out. I did not like the pilot. The pilot was trash. It was. The second episode was pretty good, so I'm going to keep up with it again. I was not a big fan of How I Met Your Mother. I just didn't like some of the actors on that show. But I'm going to give How I Met Your Father a chance, and maybe it's because of Hillary Duff. Could be. I don't know. But welcome to the show, Carolina Teague. Thank you for being open and honest when it comes to it. But apparently, people are already calling in. David on line 1. What's going on, my man?
Hey, Michael, how's it going today?
Doing well.
I was thinking maybe just maybe start wearing, you need to call Pepsi since it's the acquired taste for you. You would start wearing the Pepsi shirt. But 2 things, I've always wanted this topic to get out there. I saw it on the national media, but I've never really had it talked about here in town. Does Robert Orri deserve to be in the Hall of Fame? And then my second one is for Carolina Teagues, which is pretty cool. I actually have 2, and they both were connected to Justin Bieber. Now, I'm a 60-year-old old guy, but for me, my celebrity crushes were obviously Selena Gomez and the girl that he's married to, but for different reasons. Selena would be the perfect night out, carriage ride, roses, river walk talk. The girl that he married would probably be the convertible top of the hill.
I honestly, I disagree with you just a little bit. First of all, I think it's really cool that you have the exact same taste as Justin Bieber, and that's actually one of my favorite artists. So I wanted to say, you probably have something really big in common. I bet you probably listen to Justin Bieber when you're alone by yourself. You probably don't want to admit that on the air, but I do.
I really don't know Justin Bieber that well. I know his dad, Bob Dylan, but I don't know him.
That's funny. No, but seriously, Selena Gomez, I feel like she's really beautiful, but I feel like she was the more free-spirited one. Hailey Bieber, following her, she seems like she's the one who is more wifey material, and I think that's actually why he married her. But I mean, we can have a difference of opinion, but I think you have great taste regardless.
Very nice. David is the leader right now for those Bob Dylan tickets, but who can beat him? We have other callers coming in. By the way, man, it's funny. Why do I even create a rundown sometimes of what we're going to talk about? Because sometimes the listeners drive the show. We have Roland on line 2. Roland, what's going on, my man? And by the way, I will answer David's question in a minute about Robert Horry.
I had two big-time celebrity crushes. Growing up was Melissa Joan Hart.
Nice.
And then Elaine Bennett. I just loved her. Elaine Bennett.
Really, from Seinfeld?
Yeah.
That's interesting because Melissa Joan Hart, right? Correct me if I'm wrong. She was Sabrina the Teenage Witch, right?
Exactly.
And then she was in the You Drive Me Crazy video from Britney Spears. Why I know that at age 44, 25 years later, I just do know all that. But when it comes to Elaine Bennis, Julia Louis-Dreyfus, interesting thing about Julia Louis-Dreyfus, Roland, don't know if you know this. Did you know that she's a billionaire?
I did not know that. No,
she was a billionaire before that show, is a billionaire now. She's an heiress to Adidas. That's her family.
Wow.
So, but all the work that she's done, and she's been great on Veep and all these other shows, The Misadventures of Christine, I think was the show that she was on CBS. She's fantastic. Yeah. Julia Louis-Dreyfus just shows that you are a man of taste. Okay, because it takes something to find an older woman attractive. You know, right now, Marissa Tomei, I saw that Spider-Man No Way Home. Marissa Tomei at 57 right now, dude, that girl's a 10 still, man. She was a 10. Oh, yeah. She was a 10 30 years ago when she was Mona Lisa Vito, you know, in that movie. And now in Spider-Man, amazing. My Cousin Vinny, exactly. Great times, man. Thanks for the call, man. Appreciate it. No problem. So we have, I think, Rick on line 3. What's going on, Rick?
Hey, what's going on, man?
Bring it. What do you got?
All right, so there's two, Allie Landry, and then the woman that played Alex Mack.
Alex Mack. I got to look that one. Now, I remember Allie Landry. So Allie Landry, by the way, for those of you, let's make it a sports topic here. She was in Varsity Blues, bringing out the whipped cream bikini back in Varsity Blues. Allie Landry's beautiful. Yeah. She was also on the first episode of Entourage. She was Vinny Chase's girlfriend. I don't know if you remember that episode where she's screaming and cursing at him, going, "Where's Vinny? Where's Vinny?" And all the guys are like, "I don't know where he is." But
I think he's talking about also, wasn't she the Doritos girl too? She was the Doritos girl. Yep. She was, yeah. And then Alex Mack, I think she was on The Secret World of Alex Mack on Nickelodeon. Is that the one that you're talking about?
That's the one I'm talking about.
Larissa Oleynik, I think is her name.
Yeah, she was really pretty. Yeah, she was very, very pretty. And I also, too, watched Nickelodeon when I was a young girl, and I had crushes on some of the Nickelodeon stars, too. So we're probably the same type of person, just being little weirdos at 10, having the biggest crushes on childhood stars.
that was Rick, man. Thanks for calling in. Paul is on line 4. What's going on, my man?
Hey, well, yeah, no, it's actually Sam. That's my name. But I got two things for you. A celebrity crush and then a hot take, but I'll go with the celebrity first.
Bring it.
My celebrity crush was Hilary Duff. That's how I knew I liked white girls and girls in general. Hilary Duff was gorgeous. And she still is gorgeous. You hear what I'm saying? And Avril Lavigne. Oh my God, the most gorgeous woman of all time.
James Pledger is proud of you for saying that because he has a thing for Avril Lavigne. And my wife and I were just watching a video of her the other day, and it was like an interview that she was giving. And my wife was like, dude, Avril Lavigne's pretty. And it's so funny because back in the day, in the early 2000s, she was like that rocker punk chick. And now, she's a little bit older. She's singing some of the songs that she's singing ballads now. By the way, the song Breakaway, which was a hit song for Kelly Clarkson, was originally sung by Avril Lavigne. Go on YouTube, look up Avril Lavigne Breakaway, and she sings that ballad very, very well. Very pretty. And what's your hot take, man?
All right, so yeah, I'll go ahead and check that out because you said. But my other hot take, and this is far, and this is just me just spitting words, but the Cowboys will win a Super Bowl when you get Tony Romo as your head coach, Sean Lee as your offensive coach, as your defensive coach, and Jason Witten as your offensive coach.
You know what? I like Jason Witten being on the coaching staff. That would be amazing because, again, it's not like he was the most gifted. By the way, get his information there, Carl, because we have a new leader here. That is Paul, right? That was Paul. Jason Witten as a coach would be fantastic. I don't know about Romo as a head coach. Maybe Romo as a head coordinator or as some sort of offensive coordinator would be interesting. Quarterbacks coach to start off, but there's a lot of people in front of him that should go along the way. I'm still waiting for Eric Bieniemy of Kansas City to become a head coach. I mean, how is he not being selected by all of these teams? Are you telling me that Jacksonville, that he wouldn't have been as good as Urban Meyer in Jacksonville? I don't get it. What's up, CT?
Oh, no, nothing. I just wanted to say that that is a really hot take. I think that that triage of people, I don't know if that would happen, but I think that would be a great idea. And I do see Tony Romo more so as an offensive coordinator than a head coach. I don't know how he would fare to be the America's team's head coach. I think that's a big task to take. I don't see that happening for him. And I agree with you. I think Kansas City Chiefs, he should be a head coach by now.
I'm going to reach out to Carl real fast. You got his information, right?
Yep, Sam. Mm-hmm.
Oh, that was, is that Sam?
Yeah, the caller ID said Paul. That's why.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that was Sam. Sam is the leader. Outstanding. We have two others on the line.
I believe we do. If they hung on, we actually have three.
We have three. Okay, let's go to.
But they got to bring the hottest take.
I know, because right now Sam
beat that. Sam's killing it.
Right now, Sam is looking for a date for the concert to go see Bob Dylan. Because right now he's in the lead. Carl, let's reach out to line one. Paul.
It's actually Eddie on line one.
Eddie, what's going on, Eddie? How you doing?
Hey, great show. Love the topic. So it's only fitting you got Carolina in for this topic. So the crushes growing up for me were two Kellys. Kelly from Saved by the Bell.
Nice.
And Kelly Bundy. Current crush as an adult, Michelle Obama. And hot takers, I think the Spurs should try to package Derek White, a draft pick, throw in whoever else to Atlanta, try to get John Collins off their hands.
Hey, I like this take so far. I don't know if it's the leader right now, but that was a really good take, Eddie.
I just wanted to chime in on the topic. I don't care about Bob Dylan, but
Eddie, cool. Kelly Bundy. Let's talk about Kelly Bundy, okay? One of the things that I love about Kelly Bundy was that whole thing when she was doing the car commercial, and she said, the new Alante. Every time I pass a car that looks like an Alante or sounds like an Alante, I have to do it. My wife will do it too. It is so funny. But again, the Kellys, Kelly Kapowski, Kelly Bundy, you can't go wrong there. Michelle Obama is also beautiful as well. I'm fascinated by this. Now, as far as Derek White going away, this is where Carolina and I will probably disagree because I'm not a fan of Derek White. I am not. The dude, he is just a dude out there. He is just a dude out there. That guy is 100% replaceable. We'll be talking to Jeff Garcia from Locked On Spurs and Ken's 5 at 12:30. But again, he is just a dude, man. That's all he is.
Strong disagree.
29.
You're not watching defense. He's the best defender on the Spurs.
The year 2022, the dude shoots 29% from three, which is 4% lower than Russell Westbrook, who goes by the nickname Russell Westbrick. Okay, when you're shooting 4% lower than somebody nicknamed Westbrick, that just shows how good you are offensively. I'm sorry.
Pop quiz. What is he averaging per game?
Oh, he's averaging probably, 14 points a game?
I mean, think it's closer to I think it's 14, 15. Yeah, that's about right.
I watch every single game.
Yeah.
I go to games. Come on, man.
He is definitely not having a great year 3-point shooting, but he is not replaceable.
By the way, look at my tie. Look at my tie on Facebook Live and on YouTube. Spurs logo. I'm a Spurs fan. I am wearing a Spurs tie. I am dressed for TV, though I'm on radio, but I'm on radio because I have a face for radio. But welcome back to Halftime on San Antonio Sports Star. We do sports, pop culture, and nostalgia. I guess we'll do that baseball take at the top of the 1 o'clock hour, but we have more people on the line. I think Andrew's been waiting the longest. He's on line 3. What's going on, Andrew?
How's it going, folks?
Who is your crush back in the day, man? Or do you have a take?
All right. Well, my two crushes were Kelly Kapowski and Topanga, and I have a funny story about Topanga, very quick.
Okay.
I'll give you my hot take, the hottest take of the day. So in 2006, I graduated Marine Corps boot camp, and Topanga was a special guest at our graduation because she had a family member graduating. So I actually got to see my childhood crush the day I graduated boot camp, which was like the most glorious day ever.
Glorious is putting it mildly, man. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Now,
I'm keeping it PG for the radio.
Now, Carolina, did you know that I came across one of my crushes about 12 years ago? I mentioned this on air a while back. I was about 10, 15 feet away from Rihanna, and she is one of the most beautiful people I've ever seen. It was just captivating. Like, it wasn't like a sexual thing. You just look at her going, God, that girl's gorgeous. Like just a statue. Just a statue in heels just walking by. She's the most intimidating person I have ever seen in my entire life.
You know what? I think there's some women they just take your breath away when you see them, and I think Rihanna's one of them. And I think Topanga is another one of them too. And I find it really funny how people don't call her by her real name. They just call her Topanga, and we all get it.
Well, because she looks the same. Andrew, correct me if I'm wrong, but she looks identical to what she did when she was 18, 20 years old doing that show.
A little bit bigger now, a little bit, she's put on a little bit over the time, but I think it's because she has a couple of kids, but she's still beautiful as ever.
Very nice, man. Appreciate the call, my man. We have Armando on line 1. What's going on, Armando?
Hey, I'm 29, and for like people around my age, I don't know how they haven't said Kimberly from the Power Rangers.
You know what?
Her name's Amy Jo Johnson.
I forgot it. Yes.
Yeah.
Kimberly, that is my girl. I was always a pink Power Ranger playing imaginary Power Rangers growing up. I was always Kimberly. I could not be Trini.
Yeah, I don't know how she hasn't got brought up as a celebrity crush growing up.
That's a very good point. Actually, people are bringing that up on Facebook Live right now. I want to thank Ronald Schmidtka for saying that his celebrity crush is Michael Jimenez. So I'm an acquired taste. But no, we have a lot of people saying, yeah, you're not the first one to say the Pink Power Ranger. We have a gentleman here saying Emily Osment. That's an interesting one. Dunia says Justin Timberlake was her celebrity crush. Matthew Martin says Rachel Lee Cook. That's what was that movie that she was in?
She's All That.
She's All That. She was also in that commercial. This is your brain. This is your brain on drugs. Any questions? Where she crushes the egg. Joe Medellin says his 3 favorite celebrity crushes were Topanga, Joe Medellin, Kelly Kapowski. It's so funny. Esteban Ramon, a man of refined taste. Sandra Bullock, ever since Speed.
Oh, wow.
Very true. Very true. I have this. Yes, go ahead.
Can I ask you a question? Okay, so who do you think is winning right now? I think it's Topanga.
You know what? For the San Antonio Sports Star / halftime leader for Celebrity Crush right now, it's Topanga. But it's funny because this is interesting because if you take a look at people's celebrity crushes, and this is where I have these like disagreements with female friends over the years, guys like a girl with a little meat on the bones, man. It's just true. It's just true. And that's Topanga. That's Selma Hayek. I mean, it's Sofia Vergara, Christina Hendricks for me. I mean, ever since watching Mad Men, man. But man, we're going till 2:00. We come back. We have Jeff Garcia from Locked On Spurs and Ken's 5 talking Spurs. I will answer that question about whether Robert Orri belongs in the Hall of Fame in that block. Again, the best caller of the day wins tickets to Bob Dylan at the Majestic. Right now, Sam is the leader. This is halftime on San Antonio Sports Star. It's Tuesdays with Teague. This is halftime on ESPN 1250 and 94.5 FM.
I can't wait to watch you guys play. We're ready for y'all.
Let's go.
The NFL playoff picture is coming together.
Let's go. Let's go.
Are you ready?
You got to go out there every play and earn it.
Hear it unfold on San Antonio Sports Star.
I like it.
We're serving up all the biggest games you can handle.
Dominate on 3, 1, 2, 3, dominate.
Get all the action live on San Antonio Sports Star.
180. What's up?
ESPN 1250 and 94.5 FM.
Listen to this station anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDACY.
Viva Fitness! Fiesta Fit Fest is coming to San Antonio, April 8th through the 10th. Get geared up to party and celebrate all things fitness. Headlined by Letap San Antonio, a Tour de France cycling event. Cyclists of all ages. The Letap San Antonio presented by HEB is for you. Celebrate the only Tour de France amateur cycling event in the U.S. in 2022. Register today at fiestafitfest.com. Sponsored by HEB, Thomas J. Henry, Michelob Ultra, Valero, University Health, and Expel.
Texas Cheer Liquor, your one-stop shop for beer, liquor, wine, and cigars. Follow them on Facebook to keep up with specials and tastings. 4 locations, 2 on Petranco, 1 past 211, 1 in 90 in Montgomery, and the all-new Texas Cheer Liquor next to Walmart Palo Alto Road, Suite 101.
All used cars are not the same. At Give Me the VIN, we pay more for the clean ones. You got a nice one that's nicer than everybody else's? Go to GiveMeTheVIN.com, load it up. I'll pay you more. If it's normal, we'll pay you the top of normal. If it's crappy, we'll pay you the top of crappy. But we do understand the difference at GiveMeTheVIN.com, and we can price them both. But we're America's best car buyer because we bought $1 billion of cars in 2021. Only at
Sell us your car. GiveMeTheVIN.com. So easy you can do it in your underwear.
When others treat your fries as an afterthought, all you're left with are cold, soggy fries. That's why Wendy's new fries are ones you won't forget, guaranteed to be hot and crispy, or we'll replace them. We're talking natural cut, skin-on fries, perfectly seasoned with a hint of sea salt. In fact, they're even preferred almost 2-to-1 over McDonald's. These are fries so hot and crispy, they beg a new question.
What would you like with your fries?
Try them today, only at Wendy's.
At participating U.S. Wendy's, taste preference based on a national taste test by an independent research company.
Guys, stop what you're doing. Give me a few seconds of your time and let me give you a piece of advice that will change your love life forever. Have you noticed you've been losing a little pep in your step? Has your lady friend asked you, is everything okay? Do you find yourself having trouble rising for the occasion? Do you stress out before that special moment and wonder, is it gonna work? Guys, I'm going to let you in on a big secret. You don't ever have to worry again. The Mojo Male Enhancement Formula has you covered. Mojo is the 100% guaranteed male enhancement formula that guarantees lasting success, if you know what I mean. The Mojo Male Enhancement Formula is safe, natural, and effective every single time, guaranteed. Mojo is available in a fast-acting spray and a quick-action capsule. Do yourself and her a favor and call Pure Line Nutrition in San Antonio today. They'll get you set up for success. Call 210-494-2210. That number again is 210-494-2210. Mojo Male Enhancement, only available at Pure Line Nutrition.
Take a break from the hustle. This is Halftime with Michael Jimenez on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN 1250 and 94.5 FM.
Upload a photo of what's on your grill and enter a description and recipe at sasportstar.com, and you can win a $50 gift card to Tri-County Meat Market. Winner chosen every Thursday at 6 on the Blitz. Welcome back to Halftime on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250 and 94.5 FM. Soon to be 103.3 FM. We are going down the dial on February 1st. My name's Michael Jimenez, your host from 12 to 2. Carl is producing. And that beautiful face that we see on YouTube and on Facebook is Carolina Teague. CT Tuesdays with Teague start today. Again, we're giving away tickets to the best caller, Bob Dylan, at the Majestic Theater in March. Very nice. Welcome back to the show, man. This show went off the rails real fast. I had mentioned that Jeff Garcia from Locked On Spurs and Ken's 5 would join us at this segment. But we got to push that one back to 1 o'clock. So Jeff Garcia will be with us at 1 o'clock, not now. Okay, so reach out. We'll be talking Spurs at 1 o'clock. Carolina, you okay? Can you hear? Oh,
hi guys.
There,
I'm back.
there you go. Okay, very nice, very nice. So we were talking about celebrity crushes, and James Pledger just storms into the studio and says Sarah Michelle Gellar was his, and the fact that no one else mentioned Sarah Michelle Gellar is kind of amazing because it was like you were either a Sarah Michelle Gellar guy or a Jennifer Love Hewitt kind of guy. He also mentioned Jenny McCarthy, Carmen Electra. And then he says he loved the styles of David Beckham and Brad Pitt. He was like, man, wanted to emulate their style back in the day. So, it's okay to have a guy crush, so very, very good. Welcome back to halftime. Again, we're going till 2 o'clock. Sports, pop culture, and nostalgia. In the last segment, we had a caller ask the question, does Robert Horry belong in the Hall of Fame? It's a weird question, okay? Because here's the thing, Carolina. I might have hot takes when it comes to the Spurs, and I am a Spurs fan. I look at Robert Horry, and no, he does not belong in the Hall of Fame. He does not. But if the Spurs retire that number 5 jersey, I wouldn't mind it. I wouldn't mind it because I went back in time, Carolina, about a month ago or so, and I rewatched a lot of the 05 finals. That finals, that one of the 5 rings that Tim Duncan has was because of Robert Horry. Robert Horry carried that team to victory in the 05 finals. And just for that, he deserves some sort of praise. Now, here's the thing. He does diss the city, does diss the Spurs. He says he considers himself more of a Rocket or a Laker than he does a Spur. I get that. But, man, go back, YouTube, 2005 finals, Spurs, Pistons. Man, he was amazing. What do you think, Carolina?
A lot of people say no because they say he was a great role player and he was just so happened to be on great teams that happened to win championships. But I think it's interesting because Rudy Tomjanovich, when he was inducted into the Hall of Fame, he gave a huge shout out to Robert Horry and he made a big, case for him as to why he should be inducted into the Hall of Fame. He said that he won 7 rings during his NBA career. He won he won 2 in Houston, he won 3 in Los Angeles, and then he won 2 with the Spurs. And he basically said he's one of the best clutch shooters of all time. And you can attribute to why some of these teams won these championships was because he was so clutch. And you just mentioned a great example with the San Antonio Spurs. So I think, he should be inducted into the Hall of Fame because I'm going to leave it to the professionals. I think if that's what he agrees with, and Robert Horry said, thank you for making my case, he deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. Now, as far as retiring his jersey in San Antonio, I don't know. I feel like there's way too many jerseys up there at the moment, and it's just going to be a slew of more jerseys, and I feel like they should be more selective.
They say that if you're going to be in the Hall of Fame, to know whether or not you belong is whether or not you can tell the story of the sport with or without your name. If you can tell the story without your name, you're not a Hall of Famer. But if you need your name to be in there, then you are a Hall of Famer. Case in point in the NFL, Eli Manning. Eli Manning was a 500 quarterback, literally a 500 quarterback as a starter in the NFL. But he has 2 rings, both over Brady, the helmet catch. All that he did to win those Super Bowls because he helped lead that team to victory, to glory. And because of that, he's a Hall of Famer. Joe Namath is another one. He's a Hall of Famer, but he has more interceptions thrown than touchdown passes. He only had a couple of good seasons, but he's a Hall of Famer because you can't tell the story of the NFL without him. Robert Horry, you can't tell the story of the NBA without him. He was so clutch for so many different teams. He wasn't a star, and people will say, well, he wasn't he was a role player, but the Spurs have role players up on the rafters, man. Bruce Bowen's up there. Avery Johnson. Well, Avery Johnson was a starter, but, Bruce Bowen's up there. So it's kind of interesting. I mean, I think you could have an argument either way.
DeJounte Murray also wears 5, so you can't really retire 5.
Well, move him over to 6.
That's Avery Johnson.
Are you going to retire every role player's jersey at the AT&T Center? Like, I think there should be some type of selectiveness when it comes to retiring someone's jersey in the rafter.
We have gone way above and beyond that. The precedent's already been set, which is why Patty Mills deserves to be up there. You know, very few teams would say Patty Mills deserves to be on the rafters, but this is the Spurs way of doing things. We have Johnny Moore up there, you know, so it's kind of interesting how this all goes down. But speaking of the Hall of Fame, Major League Baseball right now is in the process of potentially showing that it's the stupidest league in all of professional sports. Today is the announcement as to who makes the Hall of Fame. And CT last year, guess what? No one made it. And it's possible that this year, no one will make it again. Now, no one cared last year because they did have a Hall of Fame ceremony because the year before it was canceled because of COVID issues. So it's kind of like, oh, well, no one made it this year, but at least we have, you know, the year before class here. 2 years in a row would be crazy. But here's the thing. Right now, as it stands, because there's a public vote and there's a private vote. And what ends up happening is with a public vote, people get high numbers. And then privately, when no one sees the ballots and it's a bunch of old people who are voting, these numbers slide down. So right now, the odds-on favorite of actually being the Hall of Fame candidate for the year 2022 is actually David Ortiz of the Boston Red Sox, right? He is right now at over 80% of the public vote. But once the private vote comes in, it's very possible he slides back below the 75% threshold. But the big story of all this, CT, and I want your opinion on this. And also callers, call into the Kielbasa Bacon phone line, 656 ESPN. Again, best caller gets tickets to the Bob Dylan concert at the Majestic in March. The big story of all this is that there are some star baseball players who are in their 10th and final year of eligibility in this manner. I mean, there's other ways of getting in, but in this manner, being voted in. Barry Bonds, Roger Clemens, Curt Schilling, Sammy Sosa. Chances that they drop off the ballot. Carolina, do those guys deserve to be in?
I am going to say yes. I do think they deserve to be in. I think just because you juice just a little bit doesn't take away from your terrific career. I think right now I could be juiced up. I'm not going to be slamming home runs every single day or every single week and making, batting a great percentage and bringing championships to their team. So I think just because they cheated just a little bit should not exonerate them from the Hall of Fame. I believe they still deserve a fair chance to be in there. They were great for the sport, whether it was through scandal, whether it was through their wins, whether it was through any of those things. I believe they shifted the conversation in baseball, and they have a winning record to back them up. So therefore, I think they should be a part of the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, you can't erase 2 decades of play because of cheating and because of juicing. And I hate that argument because here's the thing. One thing I know about baseball is that everyone's cheating. And I am not a big fan of baseball anymore because there's no salary cap and you've got the same 6 teams that have they're head and shoulders above everybody else. I mean, yeah, there'll be a stray team like Tampa or the Marlins who'll come out and win a World Series every once in a while. But man, it's always about the Dodgers. It's always about the Yankees, the Cubs, the Red Sox, the Mets, and the teams that have money. St. Louis, the teams that have money win, right? Because they outspend everybody else. But the fact of the matter is that when it comes to the Hall of Fame, the fact of the matter is that these were the stars back in the 90s. These were the stars in the early 2000s. These are the guys that are in the record books. And I don't care if they cheated or not because everyone else is cheating. Hey, Houston Astros fans, guess what? You guys cheated.
You cheated.
You guys cheated. The Yankees also cheat. The Red Sox also cheat. So, I mean, at what point are we going to do this? And then there's some of them like Curt Schilling. Curt Schilling, you know what? He didn't cheat. I don't think he cheated. Do you know what he did? He became a jackass after retirement. And people don't like him because he's super conservative. And I don't care what his politics are. What he did on the field, in the diamond, on the mound is what matters.
My thing is this: where does baseball draw the line in the sand? If the Houston Astros were able to get a championship, it was discovered that they were cheating using the trash cans and that whole thing that shook up the entire baseball world, and they didn't take away their championship title from them. Why are these individuals, because they were on PED, they had PED usage, how come they are, being held to the standard that they don't deserve to be in the Hall of Fame, even though they've had tremendous careers to back it up, even though they did cheat by juicing themselves up.
Carolina, do you know what it is? It's the fact that the voters of this are super old, and because of that, they're going to hold people back year after year after year because these guys just don't die, and these guys don't give up their vote. Man, there's nobody there our age who's voting. There might be what we probably represent. I'm in my 40s. I'm assuming you're in your 30s. I assume that we represent maybe 5% of the voting for the Baseball Hall of Fame. I'm going to go ahead and assume that probably 2/3 of it is 70 and older, and they are holier than thou when it comes to the sport, as though this sport is like innocent. It's never been innocent, man. There have been spitballs. There have been, throwing at batters. There's been gambling. There's been all that. And speaking of gambling, Pete Rose deserves to be in. Pete Rose, come on. They have been punished already by not being in when they should have been in. But the fact of the matter is that, man, you can't tell the story of baseball without Barry Bonds. Barry Bonds is probably, Barry Bonds is the best baseball player of all time. He is. Roger Clemens is one of the best pitchers of all time. And these guys were Hall of Famers before they started juicing.
And you know what? And because of those scandals, this award is being taken away from them. And Ronald made a comment, and he said trash cans are not steroids, but it's still cheating regardless. Whether you cheat with a trash can or you cheat with juicing yourself up, you're still cheating. So I think baseball, as a totality, needs to draw the line. Where do they draw the line with cheating at this point? Because at this point, it's very confusing to outsiders looking in. What will you accept and what will you not accept? And I think if you're going to be not stripping the Houston Astros of their title, then Barry Bonds, Roger Clemens, Sammy Sosa, all of them deserve to be in the Hall of Fame.
Agreed. And Joe reaches out to us on Facebook Live and says, baseball made money those years. They're not giving that money back to fans. They cashed the checks. Because of that, you can't, because what are we going to do? Again, Major League Baseball will announce who makes the Hall of Fame today. Last year, no one made it. This year, one or none is what it's looking like. It's absolutely crazy. But again, the secret ballots, the private ballots are going on, being tallied right now. But when we come back, we got more to come on San Antonio Sports Star and on Halftime. It's interesting. I was reading an article about how, whenever you look at Netflix or Hulu and the top movies out there, do you ever notice that some of the top movies are old ones that suddenly become popular? So Hulu, interesting article, Hulu is surprised at what one of their top movies is right now. We're going to get into it. This is Halftime on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250 and 94.5 FM.
If it's rim wrecking board busting action you want, then come and get it.
Catching a right-hand dunk.
The greatest ballers on earth are doing their thing on the hard court, and we bring it to you. Catch the action on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN 1250 and 94.5 FM.
It was a thriller in Lawrence, Kansas last night as number 5 Kansas defeated number 13 Texas Tech 94-91 in double overtime. Ochai Agbaji had 37 points to lead Kansas to the win. The Texas NBA teams are all playing tonight, with the 14-33 Houston Rockets hosting the 17-30 San Antonio Spurs for the I-10 rivalry at the Toyota Center. Tip-off for the Texas two-step is at 7 p.m. And the Dallas Mavericks are in San Francisco to play the Warriors on TNT. That game will get going at 9 p.m. In college football recruiting, 5-star linebacker Harold Perkins decommitted from Texas A&M and will announce his final decision on National Signing Day on February 2nd. For San Antonio Sports Star, I'm Carl Schilling.
Have you wanted to speak a new language but thought it'd be too difficult or take too much time? Then try Babbel. Whether you want to learn Spanish for future travel plans, French to connect with extended family, or maybe German to land a new job, Babbel works because it's built around real life. It teaches you everyday practical conversations that you'll actually use. All you need is 15 minutes a day, and you'll be on your way to confidently speaking a new language in just a few weeks. Babbel is designed by real language experts using a modern conversation-based technique that makes learning fun, engaging, and best of all, memorable. It starts by teaching you words and phrases. Then sentences gradually get more complex. Soon you're practicing short conversations about real life topics. And with 14 languages to choose from and lesson topics like travel, business, relationships, and more, you'll be sure to learn what matters most to you. Babbel, language for life. Learn a new language with ease. Go to Babbel.com to try for free. That's BABBEL.com. Babbel.com.
Tune in to The Blitz today for the ESPN San Antonio Injury Update, powered by the Sports Institute at TSAOG Orthopedics. Catch up on the latest injuries and how it'll affect your team. The Sports Institute at TSAOG Orthopedics. Online at TSAOG.com.
Individual rates, coverage offerings, and savings may vary, subject to terms and conditions, not available in all areas. Small businesses are the backbone of America. Yet when it comes to workers' comp insurance, you rarely get the savings you deserve. That's because insurance companies tend to lump you in with other businesses, and you could get overcharged. At Pi Insurance, we're on a mission to change that. With Pi, you get a quote specific to your business, and you could save up to 30% with no hassle and no hidden fees. If you like savings, take 3 minutes to see how much you could save at trypi.com. Pi makes workers' comp insurance as easy as pie, with friendly representatives just a call away. No wonder customers rate our service excellent on Trustpilot. You work hard to build your business and keep your employees safe. You deserve more from your workers' comp provider. See how much you could save with Pi Insurance. Ask your agent for Pi or get a quote today at trypi.com. That's TRYPIE.com.
If you were hurt in a crash, it's important to act fast. Instead of haggling with insurance, just call Thomas J. Henry. Remember, the call is free and you don't pay us any fees unless we win your case. Don't leave your case to chance. Contact Thomas J. Henry today. Visit tjhlaw.com/radio to start your claim now. That's tjhlaw.com/radio. San Antonio, Texas.
Don't let pain keep you from doing the things you love. I'm Dr. Jason Garrett from Arasti. At Arasti, we fix pain fast. Whether you've been living with chronic and nagging pain for years, or if you've recently experienced an injury, our goal is to get you out of pain as quickly as possible. Arasti is completely natural and non-invasive. Plus, Arasti accepts most insurance plans. There's a location near you. Visit Arasti.com. That's AIRROSTI.com. Arasti, we fix pain fast.
A new year comes with new excitement, new ambitions, new milestones. Is this the year you pop the question, have a child, celebrate a major anniversary? At Diamonds Direct, we're here for you, now more than ever. With our vast selection of exquisite hand-picked diamonds, our world-renowned designer jewelry collections, our industry-leading warranties and guarantees, and our people. People with a passion for helping you mark any occasion with something that's both meaningful and timeless. And our commitment to providing exceptional value is stronger than ever in the new year. Whether you're just starting out on a tight budget or whether you're splurging on that 30th anniversary gift, Diamonds Direct will make sure you get the price that you expect from America's premier direct diamond importer. Welcome to a new year and welcome to Diamonds Direct, where extreme value combines with the ultimate luxury shopping experience to create that truly magical moment for the milestones in your life. Diamonds Direct, your love, our passion. Official jeweler of the Dallas Cowboys at the shops at Lock Ontario.
Happy Hour is back at Twin Peaks. Monday through Friday from 2 to 7 p.m. Score sweet deals like $1 off all wine, liquor, cheap shots, and freezing cold 29-degree draft brews. With select apps available for $2, $4, and $6. Twin Peaks Happy Hour is the move.
Joe Reinagle, Jason Minix. One was on TV.
We'll do it live. We'll do it live.
The Blitz, this afternoon at 4. San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN 1250 and 94.5 FM.
This is Joe Reinagle. Drive home with Jason Minix and me today at 4, ESPN 1250 and 94.5 FM.
Welcome back to halftime on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250 and 94.5 FM. Moving to 103.3 FM beginning February 1st. My name's Michael Jimenez, your host of Halftime Sports, Pop Culture, Nostalgia. It's Tuesdays with Teague. Carolina Teague is with us this first hour. You know what, Carolina? I asked you a very innocent question earlier about celebrity crushes, and people still want to talk about it. We've got Mike on line one. What's going on, Mike?
Bring it on.
What's going on, team? How you guys?
Doing good.
Hey.
What you got?
Good. Hey, I first and foremost, I cheated. I saw the answer key, and the answer is Carolina. She's got the answer. I need to look at what she's doing.
You got the cheat
Number
code.
2, I would tell you, number 2, Robert Orri absolutely deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. He's one of the most prolific shooters we've ever seen before or after Steph Curry. He did it. He has more rings tied than most ever played the game. He absolutely deserves to be in there. And I say that as a true Spurs fan. And number 3, the most important part. Man, I'm kind of embarrassed you guys don't remember this. Do y'all not remember the show that has a little theme song? I get by with a little help
with my friends.
Yeah.
The Wonder Years, Winnie Cooper.
You ready? Winnie Cooper, my man.
Winnie Cooper,
Winnie
yeah.
Cooper. Fred Savage, Danica McKellar. I mean, come on.
Danica McKellar.
Cutest thing ever to live.
Danica McKellar is still smoking hot many, many years later. Very, very smart as well. Hey, thanks for the phone call, Mike. And apparently, we got Paul coming in on line 1 as well. What's going on, Paul?
Hey, what's going on, guys? Thanks for having me on. The first time around, actually, that you said Paul and it was Sam. He just called me right now. That's my younger brother that called in to give his take.
Oh, okay, cool.
But anyway, I don't have a hot take. I just have the whole deal with the celebrity crush, whatnot. Yes, for all the Kelly Kapowskis and Topangas and the Pink Ranger. And yes, absolutely, I agree. But I don't think anybody has mentioned, and I was 7 years old when this came out, Michelle Pfeiffer as Catwoman in Batman.
Ah, there you go.
Oh, yeah.
Michelle Pfeiffer.
Catwoman.
Dude, I got a crush on Michelle Pfeiffer after she came out on, what was that? Come on, that Coolio, Gangster's Paradise.
Oh, Dangerous Minds.
Dangerous Minds. Yes, when she's that teacher trying to like teach the inner city kids, and she's sitting on top of the desk, got the jeans on. Woo, Michelle Pfeiffer. That's a good call, my man. Thank you for reaching out to us.
As Catwoman.
As Catwoman, yes.
Yeah. So
Halle Berry was
Halle
Berry was
Berry
Catwoman.
was a great Catwoman too. I mean, all the Catwomen knocked it out the park. I mean, they had the bodies to back up that suit.
Very nice.
I swear, yes.
Thanks for the call.
As a 7-year-old boy, so yeah.
Thanks for the call. Hey, Carolina, I put a poll out on Twitter yesterday. Now, some people enjoy the polls, and man, again, I'm an acquired taste apparently, because some people,
I love them.
Some people just completely rag on me, like, dude, you do polls daily. And yesterday, I was going to take the day off from polls. Right? I was going to take the day off, just not even have one.
Sick?
No, I was like, you know what? Maybe I was giving into the haters, right? So I just posed a very innocent question on Twitter, and people responded back with, well, wait a minute, why isn't this a poll question? Because it lended itself to a poll question. I didn't do it as a poll, but people were like, they demanded it, right? So Rudy Campos demanded this. It was one of the ones that demanded this. And it was a conversation that I had with my wife, because my wife loves to drink Diet Dr. Pepper. And whenever she asks for 2 of them or get multiple, she calls them Dr. Peppers. And I asked the question, is that the actual plural for Dr. Pepper? And I had to put a poll out there, is the plural, like if there's 2 of them, is it 2 Dr. Pepper? Is it 2 Dr. Peppers? Or are they just Cokes? What do you got?
It's 2 Dr. Peppers for sure. I mean, you can't say, can I get 2 Dr. Pepper? Actually, you know what? That can flow really well off my tongue right now. I think I'm going to change my answer just based off the way that flowed off my tongue. 2 Dr. Pepper. I think that's perfect.
You know,
can I get 2 Dr. Pepper? Thank you.
2 Dr. Pepper. And I tell my wife all the time, I laugh all the time. And Anthony reaches out and says that it's Doctor's Pepper, because it's like Sergeant's Major. Someone said that it's like Attorney's General. It's Doctor's Pepper. I'm sorry. The answer is it's Dr. Pepper. But my wife is so cute when she says it, Dr. Peppers.
It is cute to say, can I get 2 Dr. Peppers? I mean, I think you can't go wrong either way. But I think if you say 2 Cokes, nobody's going to know what you're talking about.
Who says 2 Cokes?
Different parts of the country. If I ask for a Coke, I'm getting the Coca-Cola.
Man.
I don't know where they say, what part of the country. I heard that they do this in other parts of the country. that if they say, can I get 2 Cokes, they mean something totally different. If somebody tells me 2 Cokes, I'm thinking I'm going to get a Coca-Cola.
Okay, there's some things that I must have been sheltered from because I don't remember people calling things Cokes. Okay, like I want a Sprite and they call that a Coke. Or people who say that like I've gone to the movies, I go to the theaters, Santikos or Flicks or whatever. I never see anyone order a pickle. Like, why do they have them there? No one buys them. No one buys them. Come on, Carolina.
I buy pickles at the movie theater. It's low fat, it's low calorie. I got to keep myself in shape. I like eating a pickle at the movie theater.
That is for you only, man, because no one else is ordering that, Carolina. There's not one other person that orders a pickle at the theaters. Carolina, one last question for you. Because we're coming up on it at the end of the hour. And again, we're going to have Tuesdays with Teague at the top of the show from here on out. We're hoping in the studio next time. You're very popular on Twitter and on Instagram, and you and Pledger have something in common. You both like to show photos of you guys working out and stuff like that. What is the fine line in 30 seconds or less? What is the fine line of thirst trappy photos?
What is a fine? There's never a fine line.
I love it.
If you feel good, if you look good, if you're look, it takes a lot of us to build our inner confidence and exude that outwardly. And I've struggled with my inner confidence my whole life. If I feel beautiful, if I feel confident, and I know that I can post a thirst trap and I look gorgeous, I'm going to do it. And I feel like men should do the same thing. If you got a 6-pack, show off your 6-pack. If you get a little arm weight in your muscles, flex your muscles. There's no limit to a thirst trap. So anybody who posts a thirst trap, just sit back, click the story, click the photo, and just take a look and just admire that, all that, because it takes a lot of confidence to do that. So there's no limit to a thirst trap.
That is Carolina Teague. I just realized, by the way, this is a meeting of the minds. We are both Rock the Mic champs. You're Rock the Mic. I'm number 4. You're 2, right?
I'm number 2 Rock the Mic champ. That's absolutely right. So we're in a secret club. Me and RJ used to always talk about this, RJ Ochoa. We're in a secret society that nobody knows about.
Yes, with Quinn Hudson, Mott. We've got 6 now. Tanner?
Yep.
Very nice. Very nice. Well, thanks for being on. Again, Tuesdays with Teague. That is Carolina Teague. You can follow her on Twitter at Carolina Teague _. Thanks for being with us. When we come back, we're talking Spurs. Jeff Garcia from Locked On Spurs and Ken's 5. We're going to be breaking down, will the Spurs be buyers or sellers at the trade deadline? Earlier, I was talking about a movie that's popular on Hulu that kind of came out of nowhere. We'll talk about that at 1:30 with Lowe from 94.1, Energy 94.1. This is Halftime on San Antonio Sports Star. One more hour to come on ESPN AM 1250 and 94.5 FM.
I can't wait to watch you guys play!
We're ready for y'all.
Let's go!
The NFL playoff picture is coming together.
Let's go! Let's go!
Are you ready?
You gotta go out there every play and earn it!
Hear it unfold on San Antonio Sports Star.
I like it!
We're serving up all the biggest games you can handle.
Dominate on 3, 1, 2, 3, dominate!
Get all the action live on San Antonio Sports Star.
180! Wait up!
ESPN 1250 and 94.5 FM.
Now an important message from Exergen. A critical new FDA study proves that the widely used non-contact thermometers are not accurate and have high probabilities for false negative readings. New COVID strands are on the rise, and non-contact manufacturers are being irresponsible at a time when accuracy matters most. Accurate temperature measurements are essential. Don't wait. Switch to Exergen because they are accurate and backed by over 100 clinical studies. Be sure, be accurate with Exergen. Learn more at Exergen.com.
Hey, Carrie, we need that tax report by tomorrow. Hey, Bobby, get me that expenses.
For Hari's accounting firm, client growth is exponential.
I know we're a couple of accountants short.
He needs whip-smart accountants at whiplash speed.
Hey, so why aren't these receivables matching up?
Indeed can help him hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Instant Match instantly connects you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your sponsored job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
I know you've been waiting a little bit longer than normal.
Jen's manicure spot needs an extra pair of hands.
Who's at the front desk right now?
Someone who's handy with everything from nail files to spreadsheet files.
Deidre's not coming in today, but we have that whole bachelorette party.
Indeed can help her hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed, you do. Instant Match instantly connects you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your sponsored job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Gentlemen, now you can find the best brands and fits for you without even trying. Just follow these easy instructions. Step 1, shop a personalized store that does all the work for you by customizing a selection for your taste and body. Step 2, level up your closet with the best brands and fits with little to no effort. Not trying has never looked so good. Introducing Stitch Fix Freestyle, your personalized store. We're so you.
Do you have taxiety? That uncertain feeling before doing your taxes? Connect with Liberty Tax and then just breathe in and cash out.
Get your refund faster with direct deposit to a Deep Blue debit account.
Deep Blue.
Visit StopTaxiety.com to schedule your appointment, and let's end taxiety. Liberty Tax. Faster access to funds based on comparing refunds via direct deposit versus a mailed paper check. Terms and conditions apply.
Hi, everyone. Michael Kielbasa with Kielbasa Smoked Meats here. When you bring a package of our smoked sausage home, keep it simple. It's handcrafted in small batches and fully cooked, so you can just heat it up and enjoy. My favorite way to eat it is on a bun with mustard or wrapped in a tortilla. Try some from a store near you today, and if it's not the best you've ever tasted, I'll give you your money back. Guaranteed. Find Kielbasa at a store near you today.
Live, local, loud. KZDC, San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN, AM 1250 and 94.5 FM. Michael Jimenez. Halftime.
It's hour number 2 of halftime on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN, AM 1250 and 94.5 FM. We're on the go at sasportstar.com. Again, we're moving to 103.3 FM beginning February 1st. My name is Michael Jimenez. Sports, pop culture, nostalgia. I want to thank Carolina Teague for being on in the first hour. This show is produced by Carl Schoening. And if you're watching us on Facebook and YouTube, Jeff Garcia from Locked On Spurs and Ken's 5 is here. Let's just dive straight into it. Oh, by the way, for those of you who are listening to this show, we are giving away tickets to the best caller. The best caller gets tickets to Bob Dylan live at the Majestic Theater in March. And correct me if I'm wrong, Carl, Sam is the leader?
That's right.
Sam is the leader right now. But hey, if you can beat Sam, again, talk to us about our topics. Hey, man, Jeff, we went off the rails in the first hour. We were just talking about celebrity crushes and whatnot. And some of yours came out. The Pink Power Ranger came out. I know you mentioned.
I have a list.
Oh, let's unveil it, baby. Let's unveil it.
All right. No particular order. Marissa Tomei.
Mm-hmm.
Madeleine Smith. You should know who that is, Jimenez.
Oh, I have to look that one up, man. Madeleine Smith.
Pam, Urban Cowboy.
Oh my God. Okay, so by the way, Jeff Garcia and it was Jeff Garcia and who else? It was Rudy J asked me to watch Urban Cowboy. So that's going to be my movie review tomorrow. I need fresh blood. I need new movies to watch. Right now, the leader right now is going to be probably a Richard Gere movie, Officer and a Gentleman. But I did watch with my wife. It was her first time watching Urban Cowboy. Again, the review's tomorrow at 1:30 here on halftime. But man, Jeff Garcia, you are apparently Team Pam. I've been told that it's
you're about to find out why.
Oh, well, there's a Team Pam versus Team Sissy thing going on. Team Sissy being played by Deborah Winger.
Deborah Winger, yes.
Well, why are you Team Pam?
Oh, why don't we wait? Why don't we table that till you watch it? Because I definitely want to hear your thoughts.
Oh, I've watched the movie, but you want to wait till I do the review.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I thought you hadn't watched it yet. You're getting ready for Wednesday. But by the way, can I just quickly round off the list?
Yeah.
Sheena Easton.
Nice.
Phoebe Cates. Linda Carter. And the Baroness from G.I. Joe, 80s cartoon.
That is outstanding. Sheena Easton, I mean, what a great drummer she was too. She was a great singer. She's
Oh
fantastic.
no. You're
I'm thinking
thinking of
Sheila
Sheila
E.
E.
Oh,
Yeah, no. Sheila Easton was the Australian singer, and Prince discovered her after she got her career going.
Sheena
Yeah,
Easton sang
Sheila
Strut.
She sang Strut.
That's right.
You Got the Look with Prince.
You got the look. Nice.
Yep.
Nice.
Yep. By the way, good. I was going to tip my cap to you. Good pick on Susanna Hoffs.
Dude, Susanna Hoffs was probably the girl that I had my first celebrity crush on, was Susanna Hoffs. I saw the Walk Like an Egyptian video, and when she did that eye look, oh my God, I was like, she's amazing.
I knew I was destined for nerddom when my first one was the Baroness from G.I. Joe. That's when I knew it. I was like, okay, who's this character? And this enemy of Joe.
Carl is young, so you may not know who Susanna Hoffs is, but look up Susanna Hoffs, and in a second, I'm going to ask you what you think of her. And by the way, Susanna Hoffs still bringing it these days, man. Susanna Hoffs is amazing. But welcome back to halftime on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250 and 94.5 FM. I just see a Google image search that Carl did of Susanna Hoffs. She was the lead singer of the Bengals. She is now 63 years old. I follow her on Twitter. She's still amazing looking. Still amazing looking. She's still bringing it. Carl, that was my celebrity crush back in the late 80s. What do you think, man?
Good for you, I guess. She's attractive. I won't say she's not.
Good for you, Jimenez.
There's a lot of Aquanet going on in these photos, man. So
that's all the 80s were, was just Aquanet. Guys and girls. The hairbands for the guys.
Yeah,
man, Bon Jovi, they went through that.
A woman who can play guitar or bass, man. There's just something about it that's spectacularly attractive. Very, very nice. And we're looking up at photos of Pam from
this is Madeleine Smith.
Smith.
Yeah, because it looks like a lot of black and white photos here, Jeff. What years was she?
That tells you how old I am, Carl. That should give you a good glimpse of my age.
All right, but
that's late 70s, early 80s.
Yeah.
She did a lot of soap operas back in the day too, but that was her breakout film.
There's a nasty rumor going around saying that we talk sports at this show. So let's talk sports. Let's talk about the Spurs, baby. The Spurs back in action, coming up against the Houston Rockets. You know, what's interesting was that I was watching R&R in the morning this morning and seeing Rob Thompson, hearing him side with Team Tank. Correct me if I'm wrong, because you follow Twitter and Spurs Twitter a lot. Correct me if I'm wrong. They all switched to my side over the weekend.
Oh, I mean, we're at the point already in the season where the Spurs got to make a decision. What are we doing with this season? Are we going to go full throttle and go for a play-in spot or possibly playoff spot? Or we're just going to ease back a bit and, hey, Wieskamp, Primo, Kaycock, come on up. Let's see how these new rotations are going. And by the way, we're not the only one using, the R word, rebuild. Popovich even says it during his post-games, pre-game talk. That this team is currently in a rebuild. So they're going to do a rebuild. So go full force and go about it.
And rebuild means the draft, man. That's where it comes from. It comes from the draft. We were watching the game against the Sixers. I was just looking at it, thinking to myself, we're just outclassed. You cannot coach this team up to be a relevant playoff team. The talent's not there. And we overvalue our players. And I know a lot of Spurs fans, by the way, wearing my Spurs tie, right?
I see that. You're making me look bad right now on YouTube right now.
I am a Spurs fan, but man, I take a look at it and the talent is not there, man. We have a handful of pieces. We've got possibly Primo. We've got Keldon, DeJounte, Jakob, and that's Vassell, right? And at that point, it's like, okay, everybody else at that point is replaceable. I do like Trey Jones. I like what he brings to the team. But man,
he's a good chip in any type of deal moving forward.
Yeah,
I mean that's a great chip. And by the way, again, you hear the T word, tank. It's not such a bad thing. If San Antonio were to do that, I don't think they'll outwardly say that. But I mean, again, you go back to the man himself, Popovich. He uses words like rebuild. He uses phrases such as, we're in a position where we cannot, take a night off. We don't have. He said it himself, Jimenez, at the beginning of the season. This team does not have a megastar. So why is it, okay for fans to get on you, Jimenez, when you say this team doesn't have a star? When Popovich flat out said it to start the season.
I think the problem is that people didn't like the fact that I said it so early on in the season. I was saying this when the Spurs were just like 2 games under 500. And they're like, well, let the season unfold, let it play out. And there was a point in time about 3 or 4 weeks ago when the Spurs had a 4-game winning streak, and it looked like the Spurs were going to flirt with the idea of getting close to 500, and then COVID struck. And at that point, it all got shut down. The Spurs are now healthy again. Zach Collins is now going back to Austin, but but what are we going to expect from him? I mean, come on. It's not like he was a star beforehand. He is a lottery talent. He was drafted in the lottery. But the Spurs need lottery talent on this team. And right now, what we're looking at here is, you know what? A lot of these players replaceable. Lonnie Walker isn't going to be with the Spurs next year. He's not.
He's not making a strong case to stay on board or for the Spurs to match any offer that any other team makes Lonnie's way. This team is definitely retooling. It's tinkering. It's rebuilding. This is what it looks like. You look at what you have as far as assets. You have Lonnie, you have Trey, you have Vassell, Derek White, and you start looking at them and saying, okay, is this enough to get this team back to its glory days, or at least close to it, or get it on the path to that? And if it means flipping them, as this team has done in the past with fan favorites such as George Hill, looking back, sure, maybe it didn't end up the way Spurs fans wanted to, but it wasn't bad in the interim. It netted you another title, another banner hanging in the AT&T Center with Kawhi.
Now, is it possible that when the Spurs traded Bryn Forbes, you're saying that they're not going to outwardly tank, but when I saw that they traded Bryn Forbes, that was the first thing I thought of in my mind. I thought, ooh, this is step one of the tanking process.
Yeah, they get back an asset. Albeit a very future second round pick. But hey, it's cachet. It's cachet to bundle in some sort of trade if they want to get aggressive on draft day, draft night, this upcoming trade deadline. It's something they can use. It's another asset they can throw at a team if they want to move in that direction. This is a new time in San Antonio's franchise history. A lot of these young Spurs kids that grew up in the dynasty never seen what a Spurs rebuild looks like. I've been through it. I've seen it before. I remember when Dominique Wilkins was the leading scorer, a busted up Dominique Wilkins that they brought in from overseas to wear a Spurs uniform. I remember when it was David Greenwood. I remember when it was Jerome Whitehead.
Wow.
Yeah, back at the Hemisphere Arena. And then to see them retool, and it took a while. What did it take, Jimenez? It took a number 1 draft pick called David Robinson to get the franchise going. And I've said it on Locked On Spurs. I said it with you at halftime. I even mentioned it with Carl in past Locked On Spurs. Yeah, it'd be different if these top name free agents wanted to come to San Antonio.
And Jeff, the thing is, though, man,
don't see it happen.
The thing is that we have to compare the team's ceiling versus other teams' floors. If our ceiling is what another team's floor is, that's a problem. That means that the Spurs only win when the Spurs play the best they can and the other team plays the worst that they can. And it's happened this year. It's happened with Spurs beat Milwaukee, Spurs beat Golden State. Spurs have played Phoenix tough. It happens. Spurs can play up and play down to the competition. By the way, we have some breaking news coming in to San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250 and 94.5 FM. And I hate seeing this. I hate to announce this, but New Orleans Saints head coach Sean Payton has stepped down from the team. So a lot of Cowboys fans out there have been wanting Sean Payton as head coach of the Cowboys. They may have to wait a year to make that happen. They may need to fork over a ton of draft picks to make that happen. But Sean Payton is no longer the head coach of the New Orleans Saints. I'm sure Jason Minix and Joe Reinagle will talk more about this on the Blitz at 4 o'clock. Wow. Cannot believe that. But let's talk a little bit more about the Spurs, Jeff.
Sure.
I talked about before this homestand that the Spurs really needed to go around 8-6 to have a chance of making the playoffs, right? To have a chance. And it really hasn't gone that way because the Spurs have, a rodeo road trip coming up with 8 games in a row on the road. And right now, the games are coming here to San Antonio. I mean, the Spurs have a couple of games with the Rockets that are winnable. Doesn't mean that they're going to win it. They lost it last time to the Rockets.
Yep.
Spurs were depleted, though, that time. But the Spurs can win those games against the Rockets. But everyone else, man, you got the Bulls coming in. You've got Ja Morant and Memphis coming in. Then the Spurs go on the road with some tough games on the road. We've got Golden State. It's looking like it's going to be a rough stretch of the year. And now, Jeff, I'm taking a look at it right now.
Mm-hmm.
I think Pop getting those 9 wins is not a sure thing.
I think he'll get it.
Do you have some stuff to drink before the show? They got 55 games left.
They don't have 55 games left. They've got like 35 games left.
Oh, yeah, I guess it is 35, but they're gonna get 10 out of 35.
10 and 25.
I think they get 9. I think they get. Well, they need 9 or 10, Carl. I thought it was 9 right now.
It's 9. They're gonna win at least 10 more games.
Yeah, I don't want them to win any more than that. Let's get win the last game of the season in ES Todo, man. That is it.
Yeah, but you look at this franchise, and all Spurs fans have to do just listen carefully to what Popovich says when they lose, or when they play well. What does he say when they lose, Michael?
Mm-hmm.
This team cannot afford to take a period off, a minute off, because they're not built that way. I'm not saying that. He's saying that.
Yeah.
So that should give you an idea that this team is still missing something, that star player. Go ahead.
One last question, 1 minute. Do you think the Spurs are buyers or sellers before the trade deadline, which is coming up in a few weeks?
Ooh, that's a good one. If the Bryn Forbes deal is any indication, I think they may start looking to do both, to buy and sell, to sell off some of these assets maybe, and then bring in maybe some picks, bring them in. So I think they're right there. They got to make a move. And with think about Lonnie. Lonnie's in a contract year. Could you lose him for nothing right now? So why not flip him? Why not?
I don't know if he's flippable, man. I don't know if anybody would want him. You can get him in the offseason, but
I mean, even if he nets you a late first rounder or early second rounder, I think the Spurs should at least listen to that.
Spurs back on the court tonight against the Houston Rockets at 7:00 tip-off. That is Jeff Garcia from Locked On Spurs and Ken's 5. Please follow him on Spotify. Follow him on Twitter. He is the source for the Spurs here in San Antonio.
Yes,
Jeff Garcia, thanks for being with us.
Thank you, Michael. Talk to you guys later.
Carl, we need to talk about Sean Payton, my man. I am livid right now as a New Orleans Saints fan. That is my team. And Sean Payton is going to be a head coach of the Dallas Cowboys. Not this upcoming season, but I personally believe at this point now, it'll be the next season. It'll be the 2023 season. Sean Payton led the New Orleans Saints to its only Super Bowl win. He has led this team to a 9-8 record this year, which was amazing because think about it. The Saints had a winning record despite having as quarterback Jameis Winston. They had Ian Book for a game, Taysom Hill, and Trevor Siemian. Those 4 quarterbacks have something in common. They suck. Okay, Jameis Winston's okay.
And you're mad at him for leaving a team that doesn't have a good quarterback?
And not only that, the Saints also have the worst salary cap situation going on right now. I believe they're $70 million over the cap. So the writing was on the wall, and Sean Payton was thought of as being a big candidate for the Cowboys years ago, handful of years ago. But Sean Payton signed a contract with New Orleans and was under contract until the year 2026. So if he's stepping down and wants to take a year off, guess what? It's not going to be free. I don't care how much money Jerry Jones has. The question is, how many draft picks does he have to make this happen? Because if it's essentially going to be a trade to New Orleans to make that happen. And I've asked Cowboy fans, Quinn Hudson, Rock the Mic champ, co-host of the Sunday Sports Grill and the Fantasy Gods on Sundays. He was on this show just last week talking about this. And I asked him, what would you give up? And he said that he would give up, as a Cowboy fan, he'd be okay if the Cowboys gave up 2 first-round draft picks. I'm going to let you know something. It ain't going to be a 6-rounder. It ain't going to be a swapping of 5th-rounders. This is going to be costly when it comes to the draft, when it comes to the Cowboys, because he's under contract, or he was under contract, and if he wants to come back sooner than later, it's going to cost the Cowboys. But this is an opportunity for Dallas because, kind of strange, Mike McCarthy might be going into a lame duck year. The writing might be on the wall. But Dak Prescott needs a quarterback whisperer. He needs somebody in his corner beyond Kellen Moore, because I think the whole thing regarding Kellen Moore has been a failure. And you might say, oh, well, statistically, they are one of the best in the league when it comes to this and the other. Statistically doesn't mean that it's playing winning football. And doesn't mean that the right call is being made at the right time. And I think Sean Payton can actually get the most out of Dak Prescott more than any other quarterback. I've had some people reach out to me on Twitter say that he is overrated. And, well, I'm sorry, but I mean, teams don't win the Super Bowl because there's been a guy named Tom Brady on the other side of the field winning them all. But man, if he can take a New Orleans team with Winston, Simeon, Ian Book, and Taysom Hill as quarterback to a winning record, imagine what he can do in the NFC East. Imagine what he can do for the Dallas Cowboys. As a New Orleans Saints fan, I'm disgusted, but I get it. I mean, as a man, I get it. And I know they're going to say, well, I don't know if he's going to go to the Cowboys or not, but you can see what's going on, man. This is kind of like when someone finds out their girlfriend or some significant other's cheating. You know the writing on the wall. You can see the signs. You can put 2 and 2 together. And that's exactly what it looks like here. It looks like the Cowboys are going to pivot to Sean Payton. Have they said that? No. But you know what? Just magically, Sean Payton just decides, I'm gonna leave the Saints. Yeah, I know I just signed that contract less than a year ago, and I know I have 4 years left on it, but I think it's time for me to step down. And he's gonna talk about, I bet he's gonna say in an interview, I just wanted to spend more time with family. Crap. What kind of crap is that?
What? He just got married. Of course he wants to spend more time with his new smoking hot wife.
It is a complete playbook that is written by everybody. It's all meaningless and nothing.
And there's absolutely no guarantee he becomes the next Cowboys head coach. McCarthy has a great year, and then that goes off of the game plan. I think he's 58 years old. He's worth $25 million, something like that. He could easily go into a cushy Sunday broadcast job if he so chose. I think this could be a legitimate retirement. And then maybe he gets the itch a little bit later, but it is 3 years left on his contract. And as long as he decides to come back with that kind of contract term through 2025, there will have to be compensation given to the Saints.
We're going to take more phone calls at 12:45. And here are the phone calls I want to hear. Who would you rather have as your head coach, Cowboy fans? Mike McCarthy or Sean Payton?
Well, that's not a question.
Oh, well, we have calls coming in.
Pretty obvious.
Yeah, we have calls coming in. You know what? If this guy wants to talk about it, I want to have at least one call leading into the break. But, man, again, Sean Payton has stepped down as head coach of the New Orleans Saints. That opens the door for the potential for the Dallas Cowboys to make a move. Again, it will not be free. It will not be cheap. It may count. Oh, my God. Rob Thompson is right outside the studio right now, pumping his fist at me, knowing that I'm a Saints fan, knowing that I have in my backpack right now Mardi Gras beads because I'm a fan of the Saints. But, man, hey, Carl, do we have any callers coming in? All right. We were getting callers coming in, but, man, we'll be talking more about this around 12:45. When we come back, we're going to have Lowe from Energy 94.1 coming on in to talk some pop culture and sports. After that, when we come back, 12:45, we'll be talking more about this news involving Sean Payton stepping down from the New Orleans Saints and whether the Cowboys should pivot in that direction. This is Halftime on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250 and 94.5 FM.
Omicron has caused games to be postponed, stopped, and rescheduled. The NBA, NHL, NFL, and college hoops have all been affected by Omicron, leaving us fans high and dry.
It's unfortunate, to say the least. You don't know one day to the next what's going to happen.
Will the leagues continue to shut down players and play? Stay connected and talk about it here.
I hate masks, so we'll see how that goes.
San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN 1250 and 94.5 FM.
You say goodbye. And I say hello.
With Mercari, your unneeded things can find a new life.
Hello, hello.
Easily list and sell.
I know why say goodbye and I say hello.
Or discover great finds.
Hello.
Buy or sell almost anything.
You say goodbye and I say hello.
Download Mercari on the app stores or at Mercari.com. Mercari, your marketplace.
The Rocket Mortgage Super Bowl Square Sweepstakes is back. Every score change will draw one winner from the square to win $50,000. Plus, 2 grand prize winners will win $500,000 they could use toward their dream home. Get in the game for free at RocketMortgageSquares.com. Rocket Mortgage, official mortgage sponsor of Super Bowl 56.
No purchase necessary. Legal residence of the 50 U.S. and D.C. of age majority ends 11/11/22. Equal housing lender licensed all 50 states. NMLS number 3030. The NFL entities have not offered to sponsor this promotion in any way.
Jason Minix here for Garageization. You've heard me tell you about their shelving, overhead racks, and storage systems to make your garage functional for the entire family. If you have issues with your garage, call 210-664-4494. Have them come out and give you a free consultation. Garageization couldn't be a better choice. A veteran family-owned and operated business for more than a decade. Give them a call at 210-664-4494 or go to the website garageorganizationsanantonio.com.
1911 Cigars is the premier cigar lounge in South Texas, providing quality, affordable cigars in a professional, inviting environment with a large covered patio with TVs. A BYOB establishment, 1911 Cigars strives to allow the avid cigar connoisseur a comfortable place to relax, socialize, network, and of course enjoy a great cigar. 1911 Cigars is available for private events and has private cabanas with TVs, fire pits, and heaters. 1911 Cigars at 207 South Main Street in Cibolo. Online at 1911cigars.com.
Individual rates, coverage offerings, and savings may vary, subject to terms and conditions. Not available in all areas. Small businesses are the backbone of America. Yet when it comes to workers' comp insurance, you rarely get the savings you deserve. That's because insurance companies tend to lump you in with other businesses, and you can get overcharged. At Pi Insurance, we're on a mission to change that. With Pi, you get a quote specific to your business, and you could save up to 30% with no hassle and no hidden fees. If you like savings, take 3 minutes to see how much you could save at trypi.com. Pi makes workers' comp insurance as easy as pie, with friendly representatives just a call away. No wonder customers rate our service excellent on Trustpilot. You work hard to build your business and keep your employees safe. You deserve more from your workers' comp provider. See how much you could save with Pi Insurance. Ask your agent for Pi or get a quote today at trypi.com. That's trypie.com.
Imagine a life with no more tooth pain. If you struggle with dental problems all of your life, or maybe you're missing teeth, or maybe you've got cavities followed by fillings and more fillings and more fillings, then a root canal, and then the crowns to follow, only to have the pain come back. You know what I'm talking about, and if you're dealing with it, stop. And stop spending lots of money at the dentist every few years only to have it fail. Dental implants at River City Oral Surgery could be your solution. Dr. Mark Habercorn at River City Oral Surgery is an oral surgeon and a medical doctor, and he offers direct patient care with prices that are literally listed on his website, rivercityoms.com. $1,300 per dental implant. That includes exams, x-rays, and post-op care. $20,900 to replace all the teeth in one jaw with implant teeth, and that also includes everything from start to finish. The prices are on the website and financing is available. Stop the struggle. It's time for no more tooth pain. No more worrying that something will blow up on you. I want you to call Dr. Mark Habercorn at River City Oral Surgery at 210-778-0002.
The best seat in the house is on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN 1250 and 94.5 FM.
Welcome back to halftime on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250 and 94.5 FM. Soon to be 103.3 FM. We're moving on February 1st. My name is Michael Jimenez, your host from 12 to 2. Halftime is about sports, pop culture, and nostalgia. In the last block, we had breaking news that Sean Payton is stepping down as head coach of my New Orleans Saints. Cowboy fans are getting super excited in the building right now. We're going to take calls on that at 1:40 rather. Calls on that. So reach out. Kielbasa Bacon phone lines are open at 656 ESPN. Again, 656 ESPN. Best call of the day, by the way, gets free tickets to go see Bob Dylan in concert at the Majestic Theater in March. Now, welcome back to the show. I'm super excited because once a week, we're going to have a nice visit here from Lo, who's afternoons on Energy 94.1, talking all things sports and pop culture and music and movies and whatnot. And Lo, first topic of the day, I was going to bring up in the last hour, but I think it's pretty cool. The streaming services always release movies, and you would think that the top movie out there would be like a current movie or a movie that came out last year that people missed.
Sure.
And what was interesting about it was that the number 5 movie right now streaming on Hulu is a comedy from 14 years ago, and it has this iconic scene.
Good morning. Can I take your order?
Can I get a tall chai?
A large black coffee.
A what?
Large black coffee.
Do you mean a venti?
No, I mean a large.
He means a venti. Yeah, the biggest one you got.
Venti is large.
No, venti is 20.
Danny.
Yeah. Large is large. In fact, tall is large, and grande is Spanish for large. Venti's the only one that doesn't mean large. It's also the only one that's Italian. Congratulations, you're stupid in 3 languages.
Love that line.
Venti is 20. True, he's not lying.
So that is Lo from Energy 94.1. Have you seen Role Models before?
I have, and you know what? It's been a while. I definitely need a refresher. So this is probably why it's trending, because it was probably being talked about, and everyone's like, "Oh, I haven't seen that in so long." So let me go rewatch it.
So I'm taking a look at it. It's actually one of the new releases for February from Hulu.
Okay.
But it's one of those things where, people look back, and I think part of it was because he was named the sexiest man alive,
Oh,
Paul
yeah.
Rudd.
Yes.
Do you believe that he's the sexiest man alive, or do you put him in the top 10 of celebrity crushes for you?
I think, yes, absolutely. Even back to like the Clueless days. I mean, I remember Paul Rudd being like one of my first big celebrity crushes. And I think he's like a fine wine. He just gets better with time, and being funny really adds to the sexiness too,
The dude is a vampire. He looks identical to Clueless, which was back in 95. 27 years later, the dude is like better looking now than he was then. And it's so funny because like his comedy roles are so understated. I mean, when he was, doing the whole Sex Panther thing and Anchorman,
Yes.
funny. He became a star most recently.
Mm-hmm.
He was always kind of like the sidekick or the third person in the movie. And it's weird that as he gets closer to 50, he's probably beyond 50 at this point. It's so weird that he is now like the leading man.
Oh yeah. And I need him to drop the skincare regimen because it's unmatched.
The dude's 52 years old. Paul Rudd is 52 years
love it.
old.
That gives us something to look forward to, right?
I mean, I think I look a little young for my age, right? Because I have all my hair that's still black.
Yeah.
But Paul Rudd at 52.
He looks great.
Yes,
He looks
does.
great.
He does. And you know what? I think he's one of those guys where, women want to be with him, but guys want to be friends with him because he looks like just a
cool guy.
Swell guy.
For sure.
You want to watch a movie, you want to go to a concert with him. But speaking of concerts, I hear that Adele is not having any concerts anytime soon.
No. So this news dropped very, very late last week. She was supposed to kick off her Las Vegas residency last weekend. And literally on Thursday, she posted a video to Instagram saying that she had to cancel, or not cancel, but postpone the show. And she cited, reason being the supply chain issue and COVID-19, but now the tea is coming out that, she might be playing a little bit of a diva role here.
I know. Caesar's Palace came up to Adele and said, "Hello.
Yeah,
it's me. You're lying.
Run me my money."
Yeah, because she had this whole teary-eyed, crying, sobbing thing on Instagram that we played here on halftime.
Yeah.
I felt bad for her when I saw this. We played it as part of our entertainment news the other day. She was crying, saying, "The show's not ready. It's not ready. We've had COVID go through our whole crew and whatnot." And Caesar's Palace is saying, you are lying. You are not happy with the set. You're not happy with the sound system. You're not happy with the design. And because of that, you're using COVID as an excuse.
Right. So I think with her and a lot of artists, on her caliber, they're a bit of perfectionists, and if they have a vision and it's not being executed the way that they want to, they're going to step in and essentially try to protect their brand and their name. And with everything that's been going on, I think there's a level of they're scared that they're going to let people down
Mhm.
if things feel rushed, or if people come to a show and they're not happy with the product. So I think there's a little bit of that. I do think that there is some COVID-19 hesitancy that she's worried about, but I mean, Silk Sonic is launching a residency next month. Katy Perry just launched one too. They seem to be doing just fine. So
Now, Adele canceled this the night of her first performance. So you had people coming from all over the world. She had not done a concert in 5 years.
right.
They're coming from all over the world. She's going to get sued off her butt if she was lying, because some people paid on the secondary market
Mhm.
$30 to $35,000 a ticket
Mhm.
to watch her. And if you're saying that she's lying, there's going to be some consequences to be paid there.
Oh yeah. And I mean, they were saying she was gonna be making like $1 million a show. So she's I'm sure she's not trying to postpone the thing too long, but I'm sure Caesar's Palace is like, you made us lose a lot of money,
Mhm.
and the more weekends that we have to postpone, the more money we're gonna lose, and the more upset our patrons and your fans are gonna be.
I mean, Caesar's Palace is not Imperial Palace there over in Vegas. It is not Circus.
No.
It is not Stratosphere. Caesar's Palace is one of the nicest casinos there. Still, even though it's old, it's one of the nicest casinos there. They do it right.
Yeah.
So for her to come out and say, or for it to be come out and saying that she's unhappy or that it was bad, I don't buy it, because Caesar's Palace is a 5-star hotel for a reason.
Right.
They do things right. They spare no expense.
Right. Yeah, I think there was definitely some heads butting against the design and the set features and all of that. And I don't know. They're gonna have to figure it out, because there's a lot of people upset right now over this, big time.
So what else is going on in the world of entertainment and music?
Let's talk about, well, I mean, you guys had that awesome halftime show trailer come out last week that's been trending all over. I
Mhm.
mean, that gave me goosebumps when I watched it. I know everybody's been talking about that. One thing I do want to touch on, though, the new Batman that is dropping in March. This is going to be the longest Batman movie ever. It's nearly 3 hours.
Nearly 3 hours.
2 hours and 55 minutes without credits. So it's going to make it the longest Batman movie ever. And while I am very much looking forward to Zoe Kravitz doing somersaults and backflips in a cat suit, I don't know that I would be able to sit through the whole thing without at least one potty break.
I mean, 3 hours for a movie. I do movie reviews here on Wednesdays at 1:30. Again, movies that I've never seen before, that are 30 or 40 years old, that everyone else has seen. I'm doing Urban Cowboy tomorrow.
Nice.
But I tell you what, movies are not supposed to be 3 hours. I did Blood In, Blood Out the other day. That was like 3 hours and 9 minutes. Urban Cowboy was almost 3 hours. Why? No, I would think that movie theaters would be pissed off at this, because the whole point is to get movie tickets in.
Right. Turn and burn, baby.
Turn and
Let's
burn.
go.
Yeah. And instead of showing like 10 showings in a night, they may only have like 7 showings in a night, because again, it's 3 hours long.
This one I might have to wait until it hits like HBO Max or Paramount Plus, because again, 3 hours without going to the bathroom. And whenever you have to go to the bathroom,
Yeah.
you always miss the most important part of the movie. It
Oh, exactly.
never fails.
Exactly.
It never fails.
I went to go see Sing 2 the other day,
Aw,
and I was so excited. And halfway through the movie, I'm like, man, who plays that one character? I really like her voice. And I'm going through it, and it was my celebrity crush.
Who was it?
It was Halsey.
Halsey.
Oh, Halsey is my celebrity crush.
She's doing good. She's doing the mommy thing right now. She just had a baby recently,
Mhm.
and I'm hoping that we're gonna get some new music from her next year. But she seems to be really, really enjoying life right now.
She goes all over the place. I mean, she had that one song that was kind of country, You Should Be Sad. And then, she goes off and does a song with Machine Gun Kelly.
Mhm.
And, so she does the pop punk thing. And then she goes off and does some bluesy things. I like her on the British radio that she does, some of the live performances that she
Oh,
does
yeah,
over
the
there.
BBC.
Colors is one of my favorite songs from her. The Badlands album is great. Hopeless Fountain Kingdom is a really good album too. I'm a really big Halsey
Speaking
fan.
of Vegas, I met her in Vegas at the Billboards a few years ago.
Get out of here.
She was the nicest person
I'm so
I've
glad.
ever met.
Okay, breaking news. Ana de Armas has been dethroned as my number 1 celebrity crush. She is now back down to 2. Halsey, my girl, goes from 2 to number 1. thank you for telling me
You're
that she is
welcome.
nice because
She
that
was the
means
sweetest.
everything.
Yeah. She was the sweetest for sure. She complimented my outfit and my lipstick. Like, it was everything. It was a full fangirl moment for me.
And you were there why?
For the Billboard Music Awards. Yeah.
I've been to a Billboard
Yeah.
Music Awards. I went as a fan though.
I actually got to be backstage and do like the whole interview process with all of the artists that came through. Halsey was one of them. DNCE, so Joe Jonas's band, Jason Derulo. It was a fun time, but she was definitely my favorite.
I will definitely be your intern next time. Okay.
You got it,
I will
Mike.
do it for free. I will pay my way over there. By the way, Jason Derulo, I had this ongoing joke with my daughter that Jason Derulo is contractually obligated to say his name at the beginning of every song that he does. Jason Derulo.
I think he does have that written into his contract. Yeah.
Why does he do that? I never understood that.
I think it's just like why we use imaging on the radio. Like it's a audio stamp. It's like, it's a Jason Derulo song because he tells you right when you hear it.
Yeah, the Beatles never did that. The Beatles didn't go.
They didn't need to.
They didn't go, hi, we're the Beatles. Hey, Jude. But that is Low from Energy 94.1. Listen to her on afternoons. Thank you so much for being with us today.
Absolutely.
It's so much fun. We will be doing this once a week, trying to figure out the day, but it's looking like Fridays.
Yeah, it looks like Fridays.
So
I'm good with that.
Tuesdays with Teague, Fridays with Low.
Let's do it.
The ladies have invaded halftime, and I'm here for it. We'll be back talking more about Sean Payton leaving the New Orleans Saints. Dare I say he has entered the transfer portal. This is Halftime on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250, 94.5 FM, on the go at sasportstar.com.
Which teams are postseason bound? Which teams will screw the pooch and blow their chance? Which will get in with a miracle win? And how could COVID mess everything up? Get the latest from around the league and stay connected. San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN 1250 and 94.5 FM.
It was a thriller in Lawrence, Kansas last night as number 5 Kansas defeated number 13 Texas Tech 94-91 in double overtime. Ochai Agbaji had 37 points to lead Kansas to the win. The Texas NBA teams are all playing tonight, with the 14-33 Houston Rockets hosting the 17-30 San Antonio Spurs for the I-10 rivalry at the Toyota Center. Tip-off for the Texas two-step is at 7 p.m. And the Dallas Mavericks are in San Francisco to play the Warriors on TNT. That game will get going at 9 p.m. In college football recruiting, 5-star linebacker Harold Perkins decommitted from Texas A&M and will announce his final decision on National Signing Day on February 2nd. For San Antonio Sports Star, I'm Carl Selling.
The Roo Pub is the best place to watch a game. Football, basketball, the big fights, they have them on at the Roo on their 3 massive 170-inch laser screens and TVs all around. Come hungry, the food is fantastic, and the kitchen is open until 2 a.m. every day with the full menu available. The Roo Pub has the best darts area in town, indoor cornhole and weekday happy hour from 11 to 6. For lunch, dinner, or late at night, and the best place to watch a game, get into the Roo Pub at 281 in Redmond Road. We'll see you at the Roo.
70% of the Fortune 100 choose Zoom. With phone, chat, workspaces, apps, events, and video in a single platform, Zoom powers all your communications. Large enterprises, small businesses, and individuals use the secure Zoom platform to enable new ways of working, learning, hosting events, and supporting their customers. And now you can save 15% on meetings, chat, and phone with a Zoom United bundle. Visit zoom.com/bundle. Zoom, how the world connects.
This tax filing season could be one for the record books. There are thousands of dollars worth of new tax credits on the table, and Jackson Hewitt will help make sure you get every one you deserve. Tax credits for being a parent, taking care of a parent, taking classes, and so much more. Don't leave thousands on the table. Jackson Hewitt will make sure you get credit for all you do and get your biggest refund guaranteed. Learn more and find your nearest location at jacksonhewitt.com.
And now an important message from Exergen. A critical new FDA study proves that non-contact thermometers are not accurate. They also have inaccurate information on their labels regarding accuracy. New COVID strains are on the rise, and non-contact manufacturers are being irresponsible at a time when accuracy matters. Accurate temperature measurements are essential. Switch to Exergen because they are accurate and backed by over 100 clinical studies. Be sure, be accurate with Exergen. Learn more at Exergen.com.
Listen to this station anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDACY.
This is for the men who never settle, the ones who believe only quitters end a game in a tie, the type of guys who choose the bar with the biggest TVs to overcompensate for theirs at home. This is the Lodge mentality. This is Twin Peaks.
A new year comes with new excitement, new ambitions, new milestones. Is this the year you pop the question, have a child? Celebrate a major anniversary. At Diamonds Direct, we're here for you, now more than ever. With our vast selection of exquisite hand-picked diamonds, our world-renowned designer jewelry collections, our industry-leading warranties and guarantees, and our people. People with a passion for helping you mark any occasion with something that's both meaningful and timeless. And our commitment to providing exceptional value is stronger than ever in the new year. Whether you're just starting out on a tight budget or whether you're splurging on that 30th anniversary gift, Diamonds Direct will make sure you get the price that you expect from America's premier direct diamond importer. Welcome to a new year and welcome to Diamonds Direct, where extreme value combines with the ultimate luxury shopping experience to create that truly magical moment for the milestones in your life. Diamonds Direct, your love, our passion. Official jeweler of the Dallas Cowboys at the shops at Lock Ontario.
A great meal starts with great meat. Rob Thompson here for Tri-County Meat Market. They're locally owned and full service. Tri-County has carefully selected certified prime Angus beef cuts, Wagyu, upper choice. Tri-County has everything you need for your grilling game, from beef, chicken, pork, fajitas, poppers, and more. Don't forget to stock up on their 5 for $25. Tri-County Meat Market on Huebner, on Ralph Fair. Head over, first responders, you get 10% off. That's Tri-County Meat Market.
If you get arrested, get out of jail fast by calling AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121. Text bail to 474747 or online at mybestbailbonds.com. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else. Don't be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you one, make sure you understand the conditions before accepting it. AA Best Bail Bonds. Nobody beats their price. They have payment plans. Call 210-225-2121 or mybestbailbonds.com.
License number 149.
Are you ready?
You know what time it is?
The NFL playoff picture is coming together.
Let's go have a day, huh?
Hear it unfold on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN 1250 and 94.5 FM.
We've got the damn mic. San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN, AM 1250 and 94.5 FM.
All right, Cowboy fans, it's your time, baby. Call in to the Kielbasa Bacon phone lines at 656-ESPN, 656-ESPN. Who would you rather have as head coach of the Dallas Cowboys? Mike McCarthy, you want him back? Or do you want Sean Payton, formerly of the New Orleans Saints? That's right, formerly, because it was announced about an hour ago that the New Orleans Saints head coach, Sean Payton, will be stepping down and taking a year off, it looks like. So it's possible that the Cowboys could jump in line and maybe make an offer to the Saints. You know, maybe offer a draft pick or 2 or 3 for Sean Payton's services. Would you be willing to do that? Sean Payton did lead the New Orleans Saints to its only Super Bowl over a decade ago. He has the ability to get the most out of offenses, led the Saints to a 9-8 record, despite the fact that the Saints started 4 different quarterbacks and none of them were any good. The Cowboys, for many, many years, have been rumored to be enamored with Sean Payton. And Gary wants to talk about this. He's on line 1. What's going on, Gary?
Well, I look at it this way. I think Sean Payton is like a disciple of like Bill Parcells.
Mm-hmm.
Bill Parcells is a no-nonsense type of coach. He's not going to put up with a lot of that bull that the Cowboys were doing this year. And I think the difference between the Cowboys getting further in the playoffs and winding up where they were was the fact that they were very undisciplined. Get 5 penalties instead of 14 penalties, and Cowboys beat the 49ers.
I completely agree, Gary. Thank you for that call. You know, he's right. Gary is right about this in the sense that Sean Payton demands accountability. Sean Payton is also somebody who doesn't deflect blame. He is somebody that, we look at McCarthy. I mean, the last play that the Cowboys had in the playoffs was that ridiculous run by Dak Prescott that burned all 14 seconds off the clock. It was ridiculous. And the Cowboys are there defending it and saying, oh, no, it was the ref's fault. The ref didn't run up in time to spot the ball, and we got screwed over because of it. No, it was a bad call, bad play. And at the end of the day, McCarthy did not admit it. He didn't admit it, didn't fess up to it. Sean Payton's an interesting character because, he is somebody that is loved and feared in many ways by the Saints players. He has built an excellent defense over there. So, I mean, again, this probably can't happen right away. It's possible that Mike McCarthy is going to enter this season as a lame duck coach, but Dak Prescott is entering his prime. Dak Prescott now has that contract where he's making more than $40 million a year. Siberian on Facebook says, Mike has a crush on Halsey or Sean Payton. Can't tell which one. Man, I have a crush on both, man. Sean Payton's my sports crush because Cowboy fans, you should tell how upset I am about this. I mean, it's an era that's over in New Orleans. And yeah, he's had his issues. I mean, he had to sit out for a while because of the whole controversy involving bounties and whatnot over a decade ago. But Sean Payton was a great leader, man. And he got the most out of that team. And that's one thing that you can't say about the Dallas Cowboys. When was the last time, Cowboy fan, that the most was brought out of that team? Again, the Kielbasa Bacon phone lines are open at 656 ESPN, but it's very disturbing for me as a Saints fan. But I get it, man. I get it. He'd been there for a long while. He brought a Super Bowl to New Orleans. And on top of that, he had a really good season this year. If the Rams had held on to that lead in week 18, they were up big in the second half. The 49ers came back to win that game in overtime. That prevented New Orleans from making the playoffs. And kind of interesting that now in the NFC Championship game, it's going to be a repeat there. It's going to be the 49ers against the Rams. And you're seeing this, the coaches of the 49ers are getting the most out of that team. You're seeing the coach, McVay getting the most out of the Rams. And you're seeing the Bengals, you're getting the most out of Burrow and Chase and that defense and that kicker. And then you're seeing the Chiefs with Andy Reid getting the most out of Mahomes and bringing that team back. Cannot believe that they made the AFC Championship game. But Cowboy fans, it's probably been 20 years since the most was brought out of the Dallas Cowboys. I would argue probably
20.
Well, I mean,
Probably since 1995. So what are we pushing? That's
it's coming up on 27 years.
27? I'm bad at math.
The difference is, though, Carl, is I think the year where it was Dez's catch was called incomplete. I would argue that the most was brought out of that team.
That team looked a lot like this year's team, and you know what? At the end of the day, you can't blame one play every single time.
No, agreed. But it's going to be fascinating to see if the Cowboys actually make this move. I think they are. I think the writing's on the wall. I think everybody knows it. And right now, you're seeing Cowboy fans just running up and down the hallways celebrating Rob Thompson being one of them. I mean, he was talking about it on R&R in the morning this morning. And, it's kind of disappointing because Sean Payton signed a long contract with the Saints, and he's bowing out after 1 year. But I get it, man. The GM of the Saints just screwed that team over because they have no cap space. They have negative cap space. They're the worst standing when it comes to cap space this upcoming year. So they're going to have to let go of player after player after player. Hopefully they get rid of offensive players because that defense needs to be kept intact. But you take a look at the Cowboys, though. I don't trust Kellen Moore to be making these play calls. I think that experiment is a failure.
I can't call it a failure. They had the number one offense all season long.
It's only number one when it doesn't matter. And they also played bad teams. They were undefeated in the NFC East. They played a lot of bad teams. And when they played against good teams, they lost. They didn't beat one team this year that had 10 or more wins. Not one.
How many did they play?
I would say they probably played, 5 or 6? You include the playoffs? So it's just a weird thing going on. But man, Cowboy fans, get excited because I will tell you this much. Sean Payton does mean that much to a team. And Mike McCarthy, he's been out and about since that loss to the 49ers. he has been out and about trying to advocate for his job. He's been out there trying to get people to say, hey, look, I deserve another year. I deserve another year. And Jerry Jones has been silent. Jerry Jones has not been giving him the stamp of approval. And so, man, Cowboy fans, you might lose a first-round draft pick. You might lose multiple picks. But Sean Payton might be worth it, man, because, again, the whole point of this team is that it revolves around Dak Prescott. And Dak Prescott's entering his prime. This team is entering its prime. And some thought that the window was starting to close. But I think Sean Payton can reopen it, especially if other players know that he's going there. Might make it a more attractive spot. But I'm sure Joe Reinagle and Jason Minix will talk more about this on the Blitz. They're coming up from 4 to 7. I'll have to digest this and relax in a little bit. This is halftime. We'll see you back tomorrow here on San Antonio Sports Star.
Roll home with Joe Reinagle and Jason Minix.
There is a